Час расплаты настал. Ну, так и быть, выполним эти сайд-квесты, потом я схожу к Марте, отдам. Я думаю, там все равно рядом будет. Телепортироваться рядом придется, поэтому там сразу передам. Что же вы от нас хотите?
Sid, perhaps you can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try. Who's gone missing this time?
It's not who, but what. Mid-scales, the ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, they vanished. My first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared. Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memories.
I think it just might. Thank you. I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them accordingly. They were in the atrium when I last saw them, as always.
Ученики врут. Никогда такого не было, и вот опять.
Seems the hideaway is lost.
Oh, that blasted book. Here, you put me in this situation, Clive. You can bloody well get me out of it. I need a hand with a recipe.
Are you sure it's me you're looking for? I'm not much of a cook.
I'm all the cook will be needing, thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time, right? Oh, and perhaps your sword. You remember Ivan's stew, right? Well, despite the look of the thing, and that awful stench, people wolf it down. So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself. Had a peek at the book and gave it a go, but, well...
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped. Ivan had the same problem.
Yeah, but this is my blimmin' kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you lend me a hand.
I've never been one to play favourites, Molly. And I would be only too happy to lend you a hand. So, what's on the menu this time?
A fried mortress of skyworm. That's one heck of a name, innit? Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Thought I'd followed it to a T. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist anymore?
Wow. That's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps you know of one? Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates. Perhaps he'll know something.
А сама дойти не
I'll
может.
see if I can find your ingredients for you.
You do that. Lest we forget, you've got a reputation to uphold.
Тут иди-то, блин, вот буквально за поворот. Сид. Мальчик на побегушках.
Lawsman Harpocrates. I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book you lent Ivan.
Ah, Valisthea, A Culinary Pilgrimage, a classic. One of my favorites, in fact. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more such marvels in due course.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find skyworm livers and drake's mint.
Ah, so the fabled Sandbricois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress never fail to make my mouth water. Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern, their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress is made.
Dragon livers. How very Sandbricois.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but apparently not. I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very color of the sea beside which it resides.
So we know where to look for our liver. But what about the drake's mint?
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance. a herb which grows along the North Reach coast. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone, so I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding them. I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of skyworm is undoubtedly a typical dish of the time.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other. To Northreach, then.
Best of luck, Clive. And do save me a bite once the dish is complete.
Хитрый дед дал книжку, чтобы все готовили его блюда.
Is a storm coming, Sid?
It seems that.
А, там дети, ну ладно, по кругу пройду. Кстати, раз все обновилось, может и прокачка эксполибура появилась? Может нет.
What am I gonna do?
Is everything all right, Goots? You seem more discomposed than usual.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I'm in a bit of a muddle. Oh, I think Nan might be in trouble, and she's...
It's all right. You can tell me.
There was a trader came by. One of our usuals, like. Said he'd heard some rotten rumours about her down Dallymill Way. Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, she's fond of a chance to make a coin or two, aye, but she'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who go hurting people who haven't done out. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but I'm scared she'll give us a tongue lashing. She'd never give your tongue a lashing, though, would she?
Don't worry. I'll speak to her.
Oh, thanks, Clive. You'll let me know what she says, won't you?
Of course. I'm sure it's all just a misunderstanding.
35 очков. Стопудня кого-то убивать надо будет. Да, я знаю, что туда ближе, но нам все равно туда надо будет вернуться. Что сначала лучше к детям сбегать.
I heard the Emperor.
Местные слухи говорят, императора прикончил собственный сын. Где он будет доволен такое услышать.
What do you reckon we should do?
Sid! Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh,
And just how long hasn't it been one?
we're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Middledore showed us.
Miss Middledore? And why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Middledore said, the best way to see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well, then your work is already half done. Carry on.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we? All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Middledor's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces. The body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others? This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing!
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me to ride one day?
I'll think about it. Now, what do arms do?
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh Goots? I don't think he'd fit on that little thing.
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn. This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Midadol's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
She puts them in all her inventions. They spin round and round and round and round and...
That's right. They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales that moved?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then somebody ate it.
It's not my fault. You shouldn't have tried weighing it before lunch.
You know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see? It's not so difficult. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do, what do you think?
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings, if you're a chocobo. And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Let's see if that works. There. All finished.
Yes! We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three engineers who showed me how.
That's right. We're Miss Midadol's hares.
Her hairs?
Yeah, hares for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Midadol and Miss Shirley, I'd say it won't be long at all.
You hear that? It won't be long.
Until then, though, do try to be honest with Miss Shirley.
Hey, look! We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot about it, do you?
Оказывается, это и был весь квест. Судя по всему. Пойдем назад. Да я откуда знаю? Я же не знаю, сколько тут до конца. Я же не железный, я же не могу весь день стримить. Я и после 6 часов стрима, знаешь, как устаю.
Lady Karen, how's business?
Not nearly as foul as the weather.
You're doing good trade then? Both in and out of the hideaway?
Can't complain. Wait, what exactly are you getting at? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care, but here you are today, raking me over the coals like a bloody popoto.
Just asking. Out of interest. All right. I'm here because I was told that certain rumors have been circulating. About you selling weapons to brigands.
Oh, are you? And who was it who knows me so well as to tell tales of my evil exploits?
I didn't exactly hear firsthand. All I know is that someone in Dalimil has been spreading word to that effect.
And what? You believe it? You think I'm profiting off the blood of innocents, do you? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of. Might be there were a time when I turned a blind eye to the wretchedness of the world so I could line my pocket. But that woman is no more. And you'd know that if you'd ever paid the slightest bit of notice.
You're right, Lady Karen. I apologize. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
No, it was. Now, I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-gooding finger at a poor old woman.
Of course. Good day.
Какой-то странный квест.
It seems that.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there...
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children had the scales, or the parts of them at least. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. This might even have been her idea. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I know how busy you are. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the 3 of them under her wing. She's even calling them her heirs. She'd have them follow in her footsteps. And her father's.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva. Is that not true?
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow. But that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope. The very last thing war can be said to do.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life. And so should I. What's the odd engineering lesson?
Ah, you've given them far more than that. And I'm sure they're very grateful.
Просто задание на местные интриги. Хотят нам показать, как тут все живут.
I spoke with Lady Karen.
What did she say?
That the rumors were unfounded, and that I was a fool for thinking they might hold any truth, along with some other things that made her feelings clear. And while it sounds like she may have done things she regretted in her past, she says those days are behind her.
Oh, well, that's good. I knew Nan wasn't caught up in out bad. But why would people say she was? What did she ever do to them? It's not right.
No, it's not. But people do things for all sorts of reasons. Perhaps we'll never know.
Well, I'm going to find out. That trader, he said they were all talking about her in Dalimil. So that's where I'm going. I'll find someone who'll tell me, you'll see.
Are you sure that's wise? Whoever's spreading these rumors means Karen ill.
Oh, right. But that's why you'll be coming with me, isn't it, Clive?
I suppose it is.
Так, здесь больше зданий нет, хотя можно в журнале посмотреть. Так, вести из Нортрича. Лайф. Все в городе благодарны за то, что ты избавил нас от рабов, и тем не менее не стали наивно полагать, будто беды подошли к концу. Прекрасный Филипп взял на себя все приготовления на случай, если чудовища вернутся, но, боюсь, стезя командира дается ему нелегко. Предполагаю, что твоя ноша также тяжела. Помни, если она станет невыносимой, не нужно в одиночку тащить ее на себе. Мы всегда примем тебя с распростертыми объятиями, и дверь вуали не закроется перед тобой. Так, Любор. Стражи и гильдия на время забыли о разногласиях, и мы наконец смогли вздохнуть спокойно. Однако благодарить за это стоит не тебя, а твою чудную спутницу. Она изумительно справилась со своей ролью. Ты же, скажу как актер актеру, поработай над подачей и умением войти в образ, и плавностью движений, и мимикой, и остальными навыками. Мы же не хотим опорочить светлое имя лорда Андерхилла, верно? Стражи и топоры вполне ладят друг с другом. То вместе укрепляет стены привала, то избавляет от всякой напасти в тростинках. Все было бы намного хуже, если бы ты слегка не проучил Акаш. Я знаю, что делать спасение мира отнимает уйму времени, но когда потребуется передышка, навести нас, откроем бочонок другой. Это кто? Wait. Милорды, вы обладаете уникальным чутьем и всегда появляетесь там, где нужна помощь. Без вас привал точно оказался бы захвачен акашами, а мы бы превратились в безвольных существ. Теперь врагов стало меньше, они разобщены. Стражи могут своими силами расправляться с небольшими отрядами, а топоры вернуться к своим обязанностям в поселении Марты. Прошу прощения за то, что так внезапно попросил взять под свое крыло Оскара. Он славный малый, внимательный, вежливый, трудолюбивый. Сами видите, что ему уже мне уже нечему учить его. Остается лишь отдать юнца вожженосца настоящему щиту. А таким наставником лучше в этом мире может быть только вы. Трудная пользуется по всего один квест. Господин Клайв. Прошу простить меня за то, что внезапно и неуместно обращаюсь к вам. Обстоятельства вынуждают просить вас о помощи. Ведь больше обратиться не к кому. Ваш достопочтенный дядя поручил мне одно дело, но к моей досаде справиться с ним, согласно его ожиданиям, не представляется возможным. Ввиду отсутствия должных навыков. Я всего лишь слуга, не наемник. Могу наладить быт в доме, но не разогнать разбойников на улице. Умоляю, милорд, приходите в привал Марты, там вы получите от меня все разъяснения.
Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant?
Но нам все равно.
He be at Martha's Rest.
Ну, погнали. Блин, опять заблочено. Ну, ничего не поделать. Центральная Дальмекия. На вид нужен корабль. Вот и идем за кораблем. Ключ в скрытности. Ага.
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yoti
Wife
is
surов.
a fine scout. If Candle was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
Ладно бы там 40 метров бежать, но 200 это далековато. Да мне просто интересно, чем сюжет, если честно, кончится. Тогда я, может быть, и не стримил так. Я любопытный. Ой. Не думаю, что тут много осталось. Может, успею за выходные. Фиг его знает. Че говорят, на нее 60 часов уходит. Я пока только 25 наиграл. Но учитывая, что я обычно все быстрее прохожу, так что буду 40 уложиться.
She's strong-willed, loyal, and deadly with a blade. Much like Clive, but with better manners.
Зависит от того, наверное, сколько сайт-контента будет. Наверное, что, хотел, чтобы через весь город пробежал?
Straight home now.
Просто под конец же РПГ обычно всегда наваливают всего.
You're injured. What happened here? Where are your comrades?
Ether flood up ahead. It swallowed our camp while we slept. My own men did this. Turned every last one of them. There's a village not far from here. Tabor. The people were kind to us. It's only a matter of time before they won't stand a chance. We can't let those monsters reach the...
I'll go. You catch your breath.
Thank you. Our encampment is up ahead. Just off the track. They must not reach Tabor. Forgive me, Lord Cougar.
Rest well, soldier. You said the encampment was close. Let's hope the Akashic are still there.
Все опять сводится к тому, что надо упокоить товарищей.
We can't go around it.
Then we'll just have to be careful.
Жеребец Акаша. Лучше не уходи слишком далеко, а то вдруг это бой сбросится. А не заменить ли мне атаку? Вторую. На крутую. Воздушную. Что он там стоит? Так. Вызвать вихрь, немедленно приближающийся к врагам. Настигнутой цели будет нанесено несколько ударов. Создать огромную огненную колонну. Сложный вопрос. Так. И 100, еще 500 очков. Ладно, если что, потом поменяем. Можно что-нибудь из этого, наверное, взять. Так, ударить по земле радиус. Таки. Нет. Тут, кстати, ничего было. Обездвиживают цель. Такие атаки обычно мало наносят. Да, потом вот это, наверное, качну.
Please, I can't move my leg.
That doesn't sound like an Akashic.
Где-то ж тут было.
You're with the battalion?
I am. I heard the fighting. Are the others?
Taken care of. One of your brothers in arms told me what happened and asked for help.
Another survivor? Where is he? Tell me.
His wounds were too deep.
He was right to send you. Those things you slew are no longer my brothers. Tabor is safe thanks to you. Here, you've earned it.
Немногословный чувак.
You seem familiar. Have we met?
You must have me confused with someone else.
Wait. That scar.
Son of a whore. You're Sid. I was there in Cosnis when you killed my brothers. I was there in Rosalith when you killed my commander.
My war with Hugo Kupka is over. I bear no ill will toward those who followed him.
And what of my ill will? Coward! Draw your steel. Lord Kupka shall be avenged!
When your wounds have healed and your head has cooled, come and find me if you must. Though I hazard your life would be better spent in service of those who need it. Or have you forgotten your oath to the Republic?
My oath? What would you know of oaths?
I know how hard they are to keep. Which is why I'm giving you the chance to keep yours.
No. I won't be deceived. Lord Kupka told us of your crimes. You are an outlaw. A murderer, not some
man. Like you or anyone else.
I am nothing like you. But if you're not gonna kill me, then go. Leave! Just know that I will find you, Sid. Someday.
Атака из космоса ждет нас теперь. Так, а может, кстати, на месте. Просто думаю, вдруг тут какой-нибудь этот...
We're nearly there.
Цель для охоты.
Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
Welcome, travelers. We don't get many visitors here.
Where now, Joshua?
There is a residence just inside the city gates. She awaits us within.
Ну все, телепорт открылся. Карта. Карта. Ну ладно, мы тогда сначала сайд-квесты сделаем, чтобы добить уж. А потом уж как-нибудь туда. Потому что я там думаю, дело закончится тем, что мы корабль получим. Теория.
Nothing like a little unrest.
Ариси, имеешь в виду Tales of Arise? Ну здесь он мне больше нравится. В Tales of Arise там, в принципе, классическая история героя с амнезией, в общем-то. Но там тоже есть прикольные моменты. Но в целом эта игра мне больше нравится, Arise. Ну, они, в принципе, и та, и это норма. Даже дело вкуса. Так, вуаль. А, все понял, где. Просто Arise, она не такая эпичная. Ну или Arise ближе просто к аниме. А это скорее ближе к европейской РПГ.
Milady, I come bearing gifts.
Gifts? Whatever is the occasion. Oh my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked me to give it to you. To settle the Hideaway's debt with the Veil. And to compensate you for the time it took us to do so.
You disappoint me, Clive. I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first time around. The man owes me nothing, nor does the Hideaway. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the least I could do.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, accept it. For my sake. And for Otto's. For all of us. For all you've done.
It is rather fetching, isn't it? Very well. Otto is lucky to have you, Clive. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the Hideaway are the closest thing he has to family.
Otto had a son.
Long ago, yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy, and blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done, but it was clear that it weighed heavily on him.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt anyone did. Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic silence. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate to help them.
I'm beginning to see that.
Так, один камень не отдали, теперь сюда. Еще одна охота есть, надо не забыть про нее. Так. Виверная трава около моря. А что на карте не отображается? И сейчас исправим. Сейчас расплод непревзойденная. Вот.
He said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot.
Похоже на голубого дракона. Верный синий спинка. О, может в Чокоба драться. Я не назвал, правда, это эффективным способом сражений.
That's the wyvern's liver. Now I just need to find the herbs.
Теперь трава.
Bright yellow with a heady scent. I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect her.
Да, все ингредиенты в моле. Теперь это можно задание убрать. Непревзойденно. Часть расплаты.
Better head back.
Так, теперь. Чё? Третий.
The bandits may be known.
Я там, кстати, волков-то надо было убить. Так, юга от Тейбора, Дальмикия. Понятно, ладно. Это мы в конце пойдем. Это там, где СИД находится.
The gentleman of the town guard.
Could be I know something more.
Clive, listen! I found someone who says he's heard the rumors about Nan.
Have you?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Karen's been selling steel to whoever'll pay her price, be they knight or knave. Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, the more war they'll wage. And the more war being waged, the more call for swords and spears. And who will they all turn to keep them in steel? Why, the good Reaper herself.
And you've seen this Reaper at work?
Aye, it just so happens I have. You'll find her right here plying her trade most days.
Here in Dalimil? Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market, but if you're not the patient type, you can probably find her at her storehouse on the edge of town. But it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that particular nest of vipers. Feeling bold, traveler? I hope so, for your sake. Now, if that's all, I have places to be.
Sorry to have kept you.
You don't think Nan's the Reaper, do you?
Not unless she's discovered the secret of how to be in two places at once.
Eh? What do you mean?
Lady Karen hasn't left the hideaway in weeks. So who has been running this stall he spoke of?
Good question. I'll go and have a look.
And I'll visit this storehouse on the edge of town.
All right, but be careful, Clive.
Мы же не можем убить кого-то только за то, что он притворяется кем-то. Это было бы как-то экстремально. Что выйти, блин, по кругу пришлось бы перепищать.
Can I interest you in a new sword? My comrades and
Мы с товарищами следим за темными тучами, в тени которых внезапно оказались, как и за грифами, что объявились вслед. Последнюю атаку удалось пережить, но не уверен, что в следующий раз нам также повезет. Если разбойники нападут снова, кто-то должен дать им отпор, чтобы слабые старики и дети смогли хоть как-то пережить бурю. Сильно помогает Виктор, он поделился своими знаниями с дозорными и обучает их организации обороны. А мы будем обороняться. Единственным беззаконником, что войдет в Дамил, станет мой друг Сид. Они стали основой в деле возрождения Далимила и уже продемонстрировали его прочность, хотя процесс только начался. Я знал, что Натали и Кондра способны вытащить нас из этой выгребной ямы. Достаточно было отложить ссоры и просто трудиться сообща. Виктор тоже вносит свой вклад. Он обучает людей Конрада искусству клинка. Вскоре они могут соперничать хоть с солдатами республики. Тем временем Натали и ее гильдия собирают пожертвования от жителей, чтобы заполнить городские склады. Еще недавно тебя бы высмеивали за предложение, что торговцы Далимила могут объединиться ради чего-то, кроме прибыли. А теперь видишь доказательства, что мы изменились, причем в лучшую сторону. Клайв, не бойся за нас, мы справимся. Говорит о Дальмикии. Лык дракона разрушен, небеса кипят, магия все ослабевает. Оставшимся без эфира пришлось покинуть свои дома, а тех, кто не испытывает недостатка, стали укреплять границы, чтобы ни с кем не делиться. И все беглецы заслуживают сочувствия. Даже если напавшие на нас разбойники доведены до отчаяния, жестокость этим не оправдывает. Весь спрос в подходе. Если бы они пришли не грабить, а просить милостыню, мы бы поделились всем, чем можем. Вероятно, эти негодяи скорее с голоду помрут, чем примут помощь. И когда он спросил, какие мечи тебе нужны, я думал, у него магазин какой-то есть. Но это не было субтитров. Ладно, 100 метров чуку побольше доставать буду.
Time to brave the viper's nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, or a quick one. Boys, he's all yours. But that sword is mine.
Беги, сука, беги!
Это мы, конечно, ему. Кто там со мной еще сражается? Джошуа, что ли? Я думаю, я тут один.
Oh, you've done it now.
Go on. Tell me what I've done.
When the Borgwin finds out you've killed his men, he'll have your head. He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Karen's skirts. You weren't even supposed to be here. Who the hell are you anyway?
What were you going to do to him?
The Borgwin wanted him to get to Karen. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction once he arrived in Dalamil. But then you turned up. Well, go on then. If you're going to end me, end me.
You're not worth the effort. Now be gone, before I change my mind.
Fucking coward!
I need to find Goots. Right now.
Задание с подвохом.
Get your filthy paws off me, you naughty-pated lout!
Stop calling me names! And stop spreading them horrible lies about Nan!
Well, that will be easy enough. For they are not lies. Every last word is true. And she must pay for her crimes in blood.
Blood?
Goot, are you all right?
He's gonna kill Nan! He said she had to pay in blood!
After what she did, it is only right. She ruined my life and the lives of countless others. That loathsome harpy's very existence is a crime, and I will not allow it to continue. Goots, was it? I have no quarrel with you. Only with your employer. Run along now. You need not pay for her sins.
No.
No?
I don't care what she did. I won't let you hurt Nan. Promise me you won't hurt her, or I'll kill you myself!
Goots, no.
Enough, all of you!
But how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Did you think I wouldn't notice the two of you slinking off together? Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalamil might bear me a grudge? And a certain snivelling shit I ran afoul of in my fairy years came to mind. Though it was just Bogan back then, wasn't it? I thought the years might have taught you some sense, but I see you're the same pants-pissing craven you've always been. What was it we called you? Wet legs?
You bitch! Everything that happened, it was all your fault! And now you'll finally pay for what you did to me!
Вообще его прозвали не конфуз, а мокрые штанишки.
Goots, you...
If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck.
Я просто к тому, что я думаю, сейчас он описывается.
You great galoot. Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs. You remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye. Wise words, Sam. Wise words. And now, it's time to collect. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Is he...
Dead? No. But I reckon he wishes he was. It ain't easy going through life.
Ну, когда как.
After all, I should know.
Обычно, если искать лень. Зачем целый час ходить кругами вокруг зоны, если можно за 3 минуты узнать, куда идти?
Wet legs back when we were working the same routes. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox. I'd done nothing of the sort, mind. But that didn't stop him taking his little revenge. So I took some of my own. Sorry, lost everything. His coin, his clients. Always knew he'd be back one day to claim his due. But he crossed a line dragging poor Goots into this. He didn't hurt you, did he?
No, Nan.
Для меня экономия времени.
On my arm, see? Legs too. But what if he comes back again?
Я же не спойлеры смотрю, а где конкретно что
We
лежит.
take the other eye, then we work our way down. He'll learn his lesson soon enough. But something tells me the wet legs has learned it already. Right. Let's get you back to the hideaway. You've attracted quite enough attention already. Ta-ra, Clive.
Ну, то сейчас такие игры, что в сюжете ты не запутаешься.
Remind me never to cross you, Karen.
Так, ну, сайд-квесты глянут или типа того. Такс. Значит, это у нас Тайбер. На юга Тайбера. Ну, блин, тут типа заход закрыт еще. Ладно. Может, нам просто после идти? Стаю. Пак. Так, пак локейшн. Вот вместо того, чтобы 15 минут бегать там и искать, я просто посмотрю, где они находятся. Так, Тейбер, Да, эта зона у меня сейчас закрыта. Я что-то попасть не могу. Вот и все. Сэкономим минут 15. Пока я добежал туда. Так. А, ну да, тут же 2 квеста.
Clive, we weren't expecting you.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin for your help with our rebuilding efforts. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take this as payment.
A star, Ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again.
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest of all.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement, and rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
I suppose I do. Go will want to know the stones were delivered. if he's still with us.
My lord Marquis, it is you. Then you received my letter. I am Sebastian Rutherford, chief steward of your lord uncle's estate.
Of course. We met once before.
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did not mean to offend. I merely...
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your lord uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affairs. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crystals has left Storm in a state of utter disarray. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now commonplace. The gears of governance have ground to a halt, and without a steady hand on the tiller, the realm threatens to drift into utter chaos. Your lord uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to see it set in motion.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high houses. Alas, I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times, even that may not prove sufficient to keep a man safe on the road.
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the Republic, the other the old Imperial capital of Oriflamme.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down. I suppose I'll start in Dalimil and work my way east.
Thank you, my lord. I shall pray for your success and safety.
Так, куда он хочет, чтобы я сходил?
It's not going to be easy.
200 метров.
Man in an entire republic. Let's hope someone here's seen something.
I'm defending Dalimil. This town.
Мне кажется, не так уж.
The bandits may be no more.
Mummy.
The gentleman of the town.
В этот раз прям сайд-квестов навалили от души. Не скупились. Обычно 1-2 максимум, это уже 5 или 6.
Someone's got himself in trouble.
I don't see your master here, so you can start by giving us all the coppers in your purse.
I already told you, I have nothing.
Then maybe we'll take that pretty outfit and the steel you're wearing.
Please! These men are trying to rob me!
I'll deal with this.
Thank you.
You that one's master, then? If you kindly pay the coin he owes us, we can pretend you didn't draw your blade on Republican soldiers.
Or you can go back to your garrison and I won't report you to your captain.
Oh, you're more than welcome to. He hasn't had many visitors since we slit his throat.
Партизаны. А это что такое было? Луч смерти у обычного солдата? Ну, наверное, такое бывает. Вообще сообщение где секунд 15-20 идет, ну максимум секунд 30. Не больше. Если больше, то это проблемы с обновлением страниц. Так, он был двоих спасти, еще один где-то.
I'd expect as much from Hugo's faithful, but these were men of the fist.
Much has changed in the Republican army since they lost their rock.
You've seen this kind of thing before, then?
Many times. I was sent here to observe the situation.
You're one of Rutherford's men. He sent me to look for you.
Well, then you have my thanks. I fancy I could defend myself against one, perhaps two, but a whole regiment. I arrived in Dalimil several days ago, but when I called upon the captain of the local garrison to make inquiries, his men confiscated my effects and locked me in a cell.
The captain is no more, and his men make the rules now.
Fortunately, I was able to bribe my way free, only to be stopped again by those soldiers you so kindly dispatched.
What of the Fist Central Command? Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness amongst their ranks.
I would imagine they are unaware of it. Most of the army has fallen back to the capital and hunkered down behind her walls. Those who weren't recalled now rule the fringes unchecked, answering to no one but themselves.
Then it's worse than we imagined. You should return to Rosaria. It's not safe here.
I'll find a caravan heading north. You won't mind if I borrow one of these soldiers' coin purses?
Not at all. Now, to find this second associate of Rutherford's. If he was bound for Oriflamme, I'll start at Northreach and see if I can pick up his trail.
Так, Нортридж это вообще даже не здесь. Так, заклинание у меня есть. Слава богу, идти недалеко.
There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere.
Давай, ускоряйся. Бегом. Уи.
What happened here?
If you're with the others, they've already relieved me of my belongings.
I'm not. I'm looking for someone who was sent
Ну
here by a man
понятно.
named Rutherford.
Чем больше экран, тем эпичней.
Then you found him. I'm Alistair Rockford, attendant to the Lady Ariane of House Wellesley.
Of the 7 high houses of Rosaria. It's been a long time since last I saw my great-aunt. Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? Yes. Yes, she is. The Lady Dowager has granted me leave to assist your Uncle Stuart. I was on my way back from the old capital when I saw some villagers being robbed on the road here.
Bandits.
They looked more like field hands, but it didn't matter in the end. I did what I could to help the victims, but all it earned me was a pommel to the temple.
Which way did they go?
South, toward the gate.
All right. I'll take care of them. Founder knows I've met enough of their kind. You head back to Northreach, visit the Vale, tell them I sent you.
Thank you. I shall. Founder be your shield.
Разрешить напавших на Рокфорда.
They just couldn't resist, could they?
This one's ours, pretty boy.
Жак, прыгун. Джошуа с нами бегает или нет? Походу нет. Значит, он на сайд-квесты с нами не ходит. А, не, вот он. Я смотрю, огонь откуда-то летит.
Make for the town while you can. There may be more bandits nearby.
You don't need to tell me twice. Many thanks, traveler.
This looks to be all of them.
I thought I told you to make for the Vale.
And stand by as ill might befall the heir to the ducal throne.
It's just Clive, and I'm fine. Which is more than can be said for you.
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in such a brazen attack so close to their gates.
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. Some days they don't even send out patrols. There are few hands left to work the fields, and even fewer to transport the grain. The market stalls are nearly bare, and the price for what remains is exorbitant. It's not uncommon to see a fight break out over a crust of bread. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandits, I meant it. They were probably just desperate.
Rockford, listen to me. If you are to continue your investigation, you first need to seek the attention of a healer.
Of course. I shall return to Northreach right away. But allow me to thank you first. Had you not happened along,
Don't thank me. Thank Rutherford. It was he who sent me.
I suppose he'll be wondering where I've got to. I shall send a Bastolus as soon as I'm able. Good day.
My uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. If it isn't already too late. I should go and tell Rutherford that his colleagues are still in one piece.
Вернитесь в привал Марты.
I see you're still here.
The Rest's location affords a constant flow of traders, and with it, a constant flow of information. Speaking of which, I received word from both my associates. They have resumed their investigations, thanks to you.
I only happened to be in the right place at the right time. They both seem to think the realm's prospects rather grim.
I am afraid that grim would be putting it lightly. Storm is in crisis, and if we are to free her, we must work quickly. And we must work together. Such is your Lord Uncle's wish.
As it is mine.
Задание выполнено. Дворецкий всему глава. Так, теперь на базу. Там заодно проверим, вдруг еще что появилось. Хотя не хотелось бы.
Seems the hideaway's lost its...
So, did you have that word with Tomes then?
I did, and he was as helpful as ever. He told me exactly where to look, in fact.
And what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better not to know?
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb known as Saint's Bonnet.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Well, at least it weren't actual worms, I suppose. Now then, you stay right where you are. I've got some cooking to do. Let's hope these grand old chefs of yore knew what they were on about.
Кстати, по идее, если бы я не сделал тот квест с Иваном, этот был бы недоступен. Он как бы позже идет.
And here we have it. Fried mortress of skyworm. Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered. He as good as begged.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honor than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
Что-то пошло не так.
So, not fit for consumption then?
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet, it is the piquant kiss of the saint's bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force, a force of nature even, a maelstrom of flavour and sensation, a graceful beast emerging from centuries of slumber.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking. But I reckon you might be right.
Его уже вырвало.
It was decent then.
И пятно вон было. На стойке.
It's remarkable. And I defy any man to say a word to the contrary. Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
Играл немного у брата, где-то с полчаса. Half-Life Алекс в этот самый, как он? Ну, короче, самая популярная игра-то, где там под музыку мелодия. Что называется-то? Короче, его все видели. Вылетело из головы просто. А, Beat Saber. Beat Saber.
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to foul the gut.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make things worse. I just thought I had to protect you. Like you've protected me.
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for your well-being. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken you on.
Да нет, не стошнило. Ну, как бы устаешь немножко.
And I'd have you stay that way.
О,
So don't you
ничего
dare
такого.
go looking for trouble again.
Ну, я все равно как бы подумал, что ради там часа веселья столько гемору с ним, оно того не стоит.
Why, you big lump. Fine. Play the hero if it makes you happy.
Thanks, Nan. I won't let you down.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
that's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking out for himself as well. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back, just like you did in Dalimil. Don't think I didn't appreciate that.
Of course. His family.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion today will cost you the same as it did yesterday.
Там еще, кстати, от игр ведь зависит. От некоторых тошнит, от некоторых нет. А вот какая вестибулярка и все такое. Так что это индивидуально очень.
Let me tell you a story, Clive.
All right.
Them rumours wet legs were spreading. Might be they weren't just tales plucked out of thin air. You see, there were a time when I weren't too particular about who I sold steel to, so long as they paid me the right price. Some women lust after blood, others after flesh, but me, I were always one for gold. And to satisfy that lust, I sold to opposing armies, stabbed my every client in the back, made myself the most hated woman in the twins. But then one day I met a man who made me a different kind of offer. Said he'd give me access to a realm-wide community of like-minded individuals in constant need of steel and sundries. On the condition I sold to him and his alone.
Was that the first time you met Sid?
Aye. And I fell right into his damn trap. He was true to his word, so I ended up being true to mine. And I soon started making the best profits I've seen since taking up the trade. And all without aiding or abetting any outlaws. Except Sid himself, that is. Told me about his plan to topple the mother crystals, you know. Said that with them gone, the realm would want for all manner of things. An opportunity for the likes of me to mint gil. Why, I reckon an enterprising individual could find himself the richest dam in the twins. And that's when he had me. I emptied my stores that day and moved into the hideaway proper. And the rest, as they say, is ancient bloody history. A dozen years on, and I'm still not the richest dam. Not for lack of trying, mind. But I can say that I have never been happier. You've all shown me there are some things more precious than gil.
That there are.
So don't you go messing it all up, or you'll have me to answer to. Still alive, are you? Going first weighing you down?
Так, я просто хотел купить кое-что. Например, лечилки.
It'd better all be here. Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. Best stock up while you're back.
Поговорить о Гетце. Этот уволень таких кротких и прилежных людей я еще не встречала. Да, не самый яркий кристалл в корзине, зато сердце доброе. Пусть лучше на меня работает честный олух, чем умный прохвост. Не согласовали. Он не отлынивает, не огрызается, без спроса ничего не берет. Не позволю говорить о нем дурно, хотя сама-то порой могу. Даже Блэкторн взялся учить его своим тайнам. Теперь одним глазом присматривает за кузницей. Если этот дряхливый коваль хоть раз рявкнет на Гетца, то будет иметь дело со мной. Говорит о небе. Ты не ждешь, что я объясняю природу этих туч? Могу предположить, что причиной тому грядущий конец света. В мире царит хаос, заказы вовсю отменяют, причем я, от кого еще приходят какие-то вести. Но, как говорится, не было бы счастья, да несчастье помогло. Спрос на острую соль растет, как на дрожжах. Не волнуйся, провиантом мы будем обеспечены. Я ни за что не допущу, чтобы моя семья голодала. Тебе еще долго ждать. Не знаю, мне как-то... Ну, не то, что не захватывает эта мысль. Игра, они ведь... Мне обязательно же прям сверхреалистичными. Это как в кино типа смотреть. Будет ли интересно смотреть фильмы, где ты можешь постоянно головой вертеть? Ну, не знаю. Сомнительно, на мой вкус. Во-вторых, как же замысел режиссера? Он тебе показывает сцену под определенным углом.
She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my stupid stone where the sun don't shine.
Karen refused payment.
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever. Let me see what I can do.
Oh, wonderful. I hope you have better luck than I did.
Так, заодно гляну, есть ли у него еще час расплаты.
Here you go. Seen enough?
Так, заданий больше нет.
Lady Karen, Goat tells me you weren't happy with our offer. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of you lot me hard-earned gil. I may have tossed a talent or two in the Hideaway's coffers, but those were donations, and you can hardly call it charity if you go asking for it back.
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. And our circumstances have changed. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become a prince.
Oh, so you're a prince now, are you? Fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not. Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talents for a star ruby. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself and ask twice as much. Might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only eclipsed by a guile in commerce. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be sure to tell her that it's always a pleasure doing business.
Я не понял, она его сама купит? Какие еще красотки тут есть для нее?
I hear you ended up delivering all 3 stones. Thanks to this lump. I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which, I still haven't been paid last month's wages.
Oh, so you remember what's owed to you then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours and don't get up before those ledgers are square.
Right away.
I've seen that before.
You have, yeah. Plenty of times. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit, or because the filthy sod couldn't be bothered to find a clean one.
I knew so little about him.
Like most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond memories of him.
Huh. I bet they do.
How long did you know Sid before he...
Before he died. 20 summers, give or take. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship, which is where I met him. He bought passage to, I forget where. But having nothing better to do on the long nights, we'd sit up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back to my duties. Quit my post not long after that, on account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. But me and Sid stayed close, promising we'd one day sail the seas again. That was before fate stepped in and said she was having none of it. The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day, and there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family have...
My family were the ones who summoned the constable, wanted the monster taken away. couldn't turn my back on him. Forget what I felt, and I couldn't for the life of me understand how they could. Luckily, Sid was of the same mind as me. It was him who stood beside me when all I wanted was to tear the whole world down. Him who cried for me when I had no tears left of my own. Him who swore he'd do everything he could to stop it from happening again. And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. His ranks, his ribbons, gone. Just like that. Threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong that no one else had the courage to face. I knew then I'd follow that man to the ends of the earth.
Ну вот, важный кусок лора про СИДа. Могли бы и не знать.
He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me. Just the ramblings of a tired old man.
Ворчать по-стариковски.
I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
Hmm? What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction, and I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather goat were at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
Длинное задание было, однако. Час расплаты. В комнату Клайва доставлено новое сообщение. Кстати, вот у нее периодически горит новые данные. Это о чем?
What is it that you wish to learn?
Оказавшись в убежище, поговори с Вивиан в комнате с картами, чтобы ознакомить ситуацию в мире, узнав подробности о событиях в Алистии, повторно прочитать предыдущие лекции, все знаки, проанализировать отношения с персонажами. Основная тупо. Главный герой. Щенок. Под опекой Розари. Вот еще и по годам. Ян Лесек. Сколько трупов? Верховный кардинал. Вестник хаоса. Сущность из иного мира ответственна за большую часть невзгод, что обрушились на Алистию. Этот бесплотный дух стремится обрести форму и видеть в старшем из братьев Росфилдов воплощение мифа. Того, кто способен обладать мощью сразу нескольких айконов. Ультима хочет, чтобы Клайв поглотил силы остальных доминантов и стал идеальным сосудом. Доминантщивы. Важные люди. Остальные... Девочка-лекарь — это важный... Кто это вообще? Сирота, зарабатывающая на хлеб тем, что изготавливает лекарства на продажу. Важный персонаж, блин. Видимо, там вообще список всех важных людей. А важные люди — это те, кто попали в этот список. Поэтому там нету неважных. Ладно, сегодня в Тейбер не пойдем. Ну, я просто... Мы смотрели это уже. Это же просто... Ну, сейчас вернусь. Это просто брифинг, который был вот после каждого большого события. Жаль, что мое постыдное прошлое коснулось и тебя, и великана Гетца. Зато благодаря твоей помощи улажены дела, с которыми мне давно следовало разобраться. Теперь можно вздохнуть спокойно и наблюдать за новым миром, который ты пытаешься построить. И одним глазом прекрасно видно, сколько добра тебе уже удалось привнести. О, новые детальки. Платок стражей. Кубок СИДа. Это как бы дофига всего не хватает там. Вообще, по идее, у меня... Там все открыто. Повтор это режим аркада, залдог. Ну, режим аркада, кстати, в 15 был. DLC в основном. Типа, пройдите DLC за 2 часа. Набейте максимум очков. Ну, смотря как. Если делать сайд-квесты, то где-то, да, раз там в 3 часа. Если не делать сайд-квесты, то было бы куда быстрее. Я просто все сайд-квесты же делаю. Поэтому у меня больше времени занимает. Так-то тут можно чисто по сюжету идти, куда меньше был перерыв.
How may I help you today?
Так, ну вот, врата Феникса свидетель. А, ну тоже по годам. Вот текущая ситуация. Остался нам один кристалл. Хребет дракона. Исходный кристалл, находящийся в Стонхюре, столица королевства болот. Его массивные грани похожи на величественные утесы, которыми усыпано побережье Эша, а внутрь ведет один единственный каменный мост, идущий из центра города. Других исходных кристаллов на Эше нет. Так что жизнь валутцев во многом зависит от добычи ресурсов, хранимых этим гигантом, весьма ограниченных, в связи с чем королю приходится искать иные источники удовлетворения аппетитов этой своей страны.
Thus ends today's lesson.
Ну и на этом все. Просто нет смысла начинать, там явно будет на час, а то и на полтора времени тоже дофига. Ничего, никуда не денется. Всего один кристалл остался. Конечно, после уничтожения кристалла конца явно не будет, но мы уже на финишной прямой, наверное. Тем более, сколько там игра показывает процентов? Надо там обновиться. Так, игра показывает, что я прошел 76% игры за 27 часов. Так что все.